Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's live. Solicitor Ronald Onyango here. Thank you all for making time. Hi, Brian. Good evening. Hi, Oba. Just checking. Could you just confirm that you can hear me? Brian and Oba, can you hear me? Thank you, Oba. Just seen that. Welcome, Zeke. When you come, just please type where you are joining from. If you're in London, you're in Manchester, you're in Nigeria, Kenya, your location, please, so I can see where you're joining from. Oh, Bristol, Manchester. Oh, thanks. Say to Manchester. I'm in Manchester. Thank you. Zeke in Midlands, welcome. Thank you. Hello, Jennifer. It's quite nice and warm in Manchester, Seth. Is that correct? Yeah, as you're joining, please let us know where you're joining from. Welcome, Juguna. Karibu sana. Where are you joining from, Wilson? Welcome, Olive. Yeah, it's a very warm day today, and we just want to go through a couple of things, but let's wait for some of people to join. Before we embark on a discussion, it's going to be a very informal session, and it's strictly going to be 1 hour. We're trying to keep it to 1 hour. Yeah. So we'd encourage you to share the live so that we have a lot of people joining to benefit from the 1 hour slot. You may have noticed that we're going to be doing this every week on Thursday and on Saturday, 7 p.m. The aim is to try and understand what people are actually facing in regards to today's topic is actually on reforms. And for those who responded to the advert which was sent, would like to thank you for attending. Now, at exactly 10 past, we will start. So in the meantime, just share the live, click like so that you can circulate to as widely as possible. If it's your first time for joining the live, please do follow us so that you can be able to be notified in future when we're joining again. Hi, Bobby, welcome. Thank you. Hello, Bells, welcome for joining. Yeah, again, what you're doing, if you've not told us, please let us know where you're joining from so that we can see how diverse the audience is going to be today. We want to just talk about, hi Black, hello, how are you? Welcome on board. The aim is to talk about the reforms and the impact of the reforms. We've talked about the reforms before. We may just mention them a bit today, but what is actually happening with the proposed reforms? We're seeing a lot of changes, and even without being mentioned, there's a policy shift in how matters are happening, and we just want to have this discussion. It may be that perhaps you can give us feedback, what's happening on the ground, things that were previously happening that can no longer happen anymore. It could be that perhaps you're trying to get if you're a skilled worker looking for a job, maybe it's difficult to get that job because there are things being told. I would like to hear from you as well today. So the moderator, who is Erick, is here. Erick, are you there? Erick is going to be the moderator. But Erick can apply to join as a moderator. I'm just looking for Erick. Erick, if you just request to join on the stage, and then I'll make you as a co-host to moderate. Yeah. Hi, Nancy. Welcome. Hi, Mohammed. Yeah, just let us know where you're joining from so that we see how diverse the audience is going to be. As I was saying earlier, we will be doing this every Thursday, 7 p.m. Just today, 7 p.m. to 8 strictly. And on Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 strictly. So try and be on time. Hi, Nancy from London. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah, just let us know where you're joining from before we start. And as I say, you know, click the like so that share it as widely as possible so we can have a decent turnout before we start. Hoping that, you know, we do it at 100. But other than that, welcome on board. For those joining us for the first time, if you've never been in this, hi, Adede from Scotland, welcome. Good to see you here. I'm looking for waiting for one moderator to just request to be invited here. Erick, if you're there, just let me know. Erick, are you there? Just type a message so I can see what's your screen name. Thank you. We got to 100 now, so we're probably going to make a start 10% as we anticipated. Just Erick. Is it Erick 94? Is that you, Erick? Okay, just request to join. Request to be added as a guest, and then I should be able to add you as a guest. If you request to be added as a guest, oh yeah, I've seen it. Fab. Wonderful. Welcome on board, Erick.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry, we can't hear you, Erick.
I'm saying thanks for having me. Can you hear me now?
You sound quite far. We can't hear you. I don't know whether that's the same for me. we can't hear you, Erick.
I can hear you.
Okay, that's fine. I can hear you now very well.
What about now?
Yes. So what you can do is just lay out the house rules before we start.
Yeah, okay. So thanks everyone for joining. Again, this is ROC Legal, and we are to just have a discussion. We have shared the topic. I'll just share that on the chat once again. But we're looking to just have a good discussion around immigration and all that. So just feel free to just ask questions by the chat, and we'll just go to them later on. So first of all, we'll just have a rough 20 or so minutes just discuss, and then we'll now open the floor for questions. So until then, just wait. Again, just a disclaimer that this is just a discussion and not a legal consultation. For that, we'll just share the link in case you need an actual legal advice. We'll share the link for you to just book a meeting with Ronald. But otherwise, just welcome everyone and looking forward to just a good discussion. Back to you, Ronald.
Yeah, thank you very much, Erick. And again, once more, thank you everybody for joining. Now, today's topic, for those who are coming for the first time, firstly, I would like to reintroduce myself. My name is Ronald Onyango, and I am a solicitor. of the Supreme Court of England and Wales. I practice and live in Manchester, and also in Leicester, where we have another office. Now, today's topic is to really just talk about, we want to make it as informal as possible. I firstly want to thank all of you for making the time to join. Just as Erick has mentioned, we will be having this kind of lives on a weekly basis. So if it's your first time here, please make sure you follow us on TikTok, on our other social media handles, so you can be kept updated. We want to just make you aware that today's purpose is just information purposes only. Just for disclaimer purposes, it is in no way, form or shape, legal could be considered as legal advice, as we would need to know your bespoke circumstances in a confined and right environment to ask the questions. But we can discuss issues, we can pointers, and then of course, if there are issues which need to be dealt with, of course, if you go on my bio, there is a link. You can click that to take you to the website where you can actually request for a one-on-one appointment. So it's very simple, very straightforward to reach us. Number is there, if you need to use it, but it's easier to just click the link, go to the website, and just request for an appointment, and it's as simple as that. Now, the structure of today's format is first, we're going to just go through a brief overview of some of the things that have happened, which I'm sure most of you know, but more so today is not for me. I want to hear from you as well. What is your experience on some of the things that are happening from vis-a-vis as a result of the proposed reforms? As practitioners, we are seeing a dynamic shift in the policy, from the policies which have been announced. Some applications, there's more stringent applications on them. There's more checks, and I think it would be good to hear from you. What are your experiences on the ground? Yeah, but just to quickly just brush to on what we know is supposed to be the proposed reforms. As most of you remember, sometime in May, I think it was on the 12th of May, you'll recall that there was an announcement on the proposed reforms on the white paper, and that actually elicited a lot of reactions from people. This is actually, just for those people who may not be aware or want just for the recap, that was at a white paper stage. In the UK, the lawmaking process has got the green paper stage and the white paper stage. And prior to any law coming to act, there's a process that has to be undergone. This will have to go through the parliament, because the green paper stage is purely an intention of the government to change the law, and it actually outlines the format. This is usually published, it was in the case, published to the public to make comments and make their views known, and then circulated very widely. And I'm sure that process is kind of going. I've seen various petitions which have been put forward. It is for the government to know what are people actually feeling about them. Then individuals or groups or can actually come forward and make known their views about it. Then once that has happened, obviously, this still has to go through as a bill, first stage, reach second stage and third stage. And then obviously, if it's accepted, by both houses of Commons and House of Lords, then it goes for the royal assent before it becomes an act of parliament. So it's quite a detailed process, but I think we already know what is happening. Several areas, as we know, have been touched already. So we know, as an example, the skilled worker sector. There is a proposed change that in future only degree holders will be eligible to apply for skilled workers in the UK. This has not been the case at present. Non-degree holders can do the same, but it's certainly going to change. We know about there are some instances of low skilled workers. some areas will still be allowed of low-skilled workers, and we've known from the proposals areas like IT, construction, and engineering, areas which the government from time to time will deem that are of need. Those areas will be exempt from any proposals to cut them out. It is important to know that one of the other things proposed as well is targeting of foreigners who are in the country, and there is a quite harsh proposal which is going to be on the play, where there will be a high level of deportation of foreign national criminals. The government is actually pledging to deport all foreign national criminals by ensuring that all convictions are reportable to the Home Office, not just the ones which attract a jail sentence, as had been the case. So this is going to be quite wide, and I think it's important that people are aware, even as you progress, be mindful of how you conduct your affairs. Now, another section which I think also has attracted a lot of controversy is the language skills. Skilled workers will be facing tougher English language requirement. Again, in the past, the levels were quite lower. GCSE level was actually, the equivalent was actually a standard that could be accepted. In the future, the proposal is actually going to change this, and it will be at an A-level standard, which is a much higher level. Now, this will obviously cut a lot of people out, as obviously it's of a higher band. Now, we also know that for those who are in the care sector, it is not a secret, and it's known to many that the care workers scheme has been largely affected, and there will be a ban from recruiting overseas staff who are based abroad. This is already happening at the moment. It's already, the sector is already even happening at present, because they can't bring their dependents. So it's a sector which the government is trying to use, but with the intent of trying to recruit local talent. I think another area that's also going to be targeted and has been mentioned is the graduate scheme, the foreign graduate scheme. I think, as you all know from what has been discussed, in the past, the graduates were able to have 2 years post their graduation. This is going to be reduced to 18 months. But just as what I'm saying about the policy shifts we're seeing at present, even in practice, we are seeing that those who are applying for graduate PSW visas, the level of scrutiny is much higher. For instance, we're coming across scenarios whereas previously, if somebody was on a student visa and the visa was just about to expire, they could make an application under Section 3C, which will protect them. But we have seen scenarios where this kind of application now are being refused because they had not actually received a certificate of completion from their institutions of learning. So it's a gray area, and of course, those are areas which we will be looking at, but it just show level of scrutiny. In the past, that is something which would have worked. Somebody would have been able to complete the graduation, the course of study, and even before they get the certificate of completion from the institution, they could apply to start switching, which would buy them some time to avoid them being an overstayer. But you can see with the switch, that is no longer going to be possible, and we are seeing a lot of resistance in that sector. Another area that we which has proposed to change is the ILR, which previously there was a 5-year route, which has been for some time. You will be seeing that obviously this is changing, and the proposal is that to have this up to 10 years under what they classify as and right to stay, which is citizenship. It is no longer going to be automatic to just get indefinite leave to remain and citizenship after 5 years. But what they're couching, the language being used, is that it will be based on certain areas, such as contribution through your tax returns, where somebody is working for NHS, such as doctors or nurses or staff members, or somebody works for other public services, or just anybody with outstanding voluntary service to the community. So you can see how some of these things are going to be affected. Now, what we wanted to mention as well is we're also seeing when it comes to sponsorship licenses, which we do a lot of self sponsorship licenses. Um, we have seen whereby previously in the various roles, like the key personnel, the Home Office is quite keen on making sure those are well defined, and obviously the structure of the business, the corporate structure, is well taken care of. Again, those are areas which were not heavily emphasized before, but the policy shift is making them now under greater and deeper scrutiny. Um, Now, I mentioned to you that today is I want it to be a forum whereby you guys can also let me know, or let us know what is happening on the ground level and what are the things you're finding, and maybe so that we can have an open discussion. And perhaps Eric, this would be a good time to um, invite some people on the pod, so we see whether we can hear what they have to say about the whole environment and the changes that have been looming about. Thank you.
Thanks, Ronald. So if you have a question, just feel free to just input on the chat, and then just if you want to be a guest and just have a just talk again, just feel free to just request.
Yeah, so we'll invite a couple of people there. So
Yeah. Welcome, Reggie. See you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
yeah, Adedeji, do you want to
Hello.
go first?
Hello?
Yes. How are you? Tell us where you're calling from, and then of
I'm
course,
fine.
yeah. Welcome to the platform.
I'm calling from Scotland, Inverness.
Okay.
Yeah, I thank you. I've been joining you for several times, but I don't normally come to the podium like that. Then especially when there was changes and the white paper, all those things, I used to join you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your help. Thank you for your time by share. Thank you for by sharing your knowledge with us, especially for us that are just been living in the UK. So I just want to ask if there's any hope for someone that for a couple that have a children at back home, and they are on post study, or they are looking for service and they want the children to come to the UK. I don't know whether it's possible now that everything has becoming difficult. I don't know whether it's possible for them if one of the parents get serious and they have children at back home and they want to move them to UK. I don't know how chances will be.
Thank you very much, Adedeji. And thank you also for following us for some time and joining some of the lives we've had before. We appreciate you as well for the support. Um, Now, from what you're saying, and I'm glad you're aware of the changes. A scenario whereby one is a post-study worker, graduate student, and they have dependents back home. And I think what I read is your concern, how you can be able to get your dependents to join you in the UK. Now, it is quite clear that dependents are no longer allowed, other than if one is doing a master's, a research master's program, or PhD level. If that is a scenario that you find yourself that you're not doing any of those, then of course it will be a challenge to bring your dependents. Be as it may, if your intent is to have your dependents join you in the UK, um, it is possible to explore other avenues which still permit dependence. Skilled workers route that has prohibited dependence is regards to healthcare. The other routes are available. We are doing a lot of self-sponsorship route, which allows that, depending on other than if you're a healthcare worker. The other routes, we're really helping a lot of businesses or individuals who have got entrepreneurial skills to open up businesses, startups. And those startups, which could be in various fields, and I don't know what is your specialty or area of study, but it is possible to open a business in any sector. And in I think one of the lives I've had is I've mentioned various sectors or as examples of businesses people are opening. It could be anything. The list is long. We have people opening IT consultancy businesses. We have people opening cleaning companies. We have people opening barber shops and hairdressing shops. We have people going into real estate. We have people going into all sorts of consultancies and businesses. So the list is long, and what I would say is that if that is something you want to do, that is one area that you can still be able to bring dependence. Yeah? So we can guide you on the process involved of setting up such a company, the structures, the corporate structure that need to be in place, and how to meet all the requirements. And the business needs to be a genuine business. We'll have to show the viability of the business, and of course the recruitment process has to be above board. But again, there's a details which we can guide you on how that needs to be done, including how to set it up properly and all the key personnel that are required. I mentioned to you earlier that we've been doing this for some time now, and of course we are also actually facing the pressure, because obviously we're seeing the policy shifts, making some things which were previously not as important are now very important. But in answer to your point, do not give up. I think just because they have closed one door doesn't mean that all doors are closed. What I would recommend is perhaps, if this is something you want to discuss and various options available and how you can go about it, my details are on the bio. If you look at this bio of this TikTok account, you see a link there on the top. If you click it, it will take you to a website. That website, there's a form you complete to just request for an appointment. It's very simple and straightforward. My mobile number is also there, which you can also have if you need to secure an appointment so that we can discuss your own circumstances and be able to tailor-make a pathway for you. That is what you need to do. And anybody else in this route, what I would also say is that we've been seeing people coming to us when they've got 3-4 months left before their PSW or their visa expires. That is not good at all. What I would emphasize is you need some proper planning. Sometimes we recommend planning from as far as 1 year before. 6 months to 1 year is a good time, because the business has to be set up properly. We have to make sure that we can be able to show that the business is trading and there's transactions. So you cannot do that in 2-3 months. This, which is a mistake some people do. They leave it to the last minute. I've even had people come and see me when they've got 1 month left. It makes it very difficult. So what I would recommend is if you are on a postgraduate route, the moment as a PSW, and it is your intention to stay in the UK longer, it may be advisable to speak to a specialist solicitor who understands who deals with that area of work. By all means, you can reach out to us. We do this all the time, and then we'll be able to start preparing you in advance, well before your visa comes to an end. and there'll be that way we can be able to facilitate a smooth transition. Once you're on that route, then your previous question will be addressed, because if you embark on a route of a self sponsorship where you have a skilled worker visa on that particular route, a COS, you can bring your dependents, you can bring your spouse, and you can bring your children. I hope that answers your question to what you're.
Yes, thank you. I will book the appointment with you. Then I will start from that place. So that I will make sure that I will book appointment with you. However, I don't know where you said I should click here
If you go on
because
the bio
my
page,
network is.
yeah, if you go to my bio page of this TikTok, you'll see a link there.
Okay, by page. Okay.
Yeah, it should be very easy to see. And that is, if you click that link there, you will be able to.
All right.
Did you see it?
I've not seen it.
On my bio page, where there's a telephone number and there's a link below that, link.
Okay.
Eric, can you see?
All right.
Eric, are you able to see it?
Yes, yes. I was saying if you just clicks on the bio, you should just see, and the text there. There's a link that takes to the website where you can just get all the details, book a meeting, and then you'll and also just get all the info that you need. Hope you have seen it, Adeji.
Yeah, it's on the bio. It's very straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's saying click on this picture. I don't know whether that works.
It's right next to the picture actually. I
Yeah.
can just let me just type it again on the chat, and you can just see as well.
Yes, perhaps put it on the chat here so that it makes it. You can put the link on the chat here for those who. It's actually on the bio page, but make it easy for him. Now, thank you very much, Adeji. Maybe we'll speak to the next person. Hope that answers your question. Yeah. Let's have Seto.
Yeah, can I go ahead?
Yes. Can you put your video?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for allowing me to share my opinion. I think it's the first time that I've been on your platform, and given the subject area, I think I'm interested, and I'll be joining every day, make time for that, so that I'll legally be educated on that. I just want to know, subject to the reforms that is going on, or in present times, are there any chance for any person whose visa has been cancelled, like a skilled worker whose visa has been cancelled on grounds of the sponsor saying that he is unable to further sponsor the employer, the employee? And then are there any chances that a person could hook on whilst he looks on for another sponsor to do that?
Sorry, just repeat it again. Where you
let me come again. Like you've been served, a skilled worker has been served by Home Office with a 60-day notice, and to switch, but the person has for the period of the 60 days has not been able to find another sponsor. But is the person capable of hooking onto another visa whilst he continues to stay here and then search for a new sponsor?
Thank you so much, Seth. I think I've understood what you're asking as you have been served with a notice of cancellation, the 60 days notice.
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay. And 60 days has elapsed and you've not been able to switch.
Yeah, it's almost elapsing, and you've not gotten a new sponsor. Yeah,
Okay, 60 days has not elapsed, but it's almost elapsing. Eh?
yeah.
Yeah, I think this is what I was trying to allude to earlier. It is important that you seek legal counsel well in advance, preferably even before you get your notice of cancellation. When you're in a scenario with an employer and you notice that you're not getting regular work, it is actually at that point that you should be talking to an advisor to guide you.
Okay.
What are the other alternatives? Eh?
Okay.
The 60 days notice says clearly that you should either switch to a suitable route,
Okay.
alternatively, you vacate and leave the country.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So waiting until that happens when nothing, it is not very wise to just sit on it because remember, it's a time bomb. Eventually, 60 days will pass.
Sure.
And if you haven't gotten anything to switch to, then the only option is you leave the country. Now, what to switch to depends on so many things and so many factors.
Okay.
Time you should be talking to a legal advisor to explore your circumstances, your personal circumstances, and perhaps be able to come up with a bespoke route that can work for you. Everybody's circumstances are different. If you speak to a practitioner, they'll be able to sit with you and understand you and where you're coming from, and of course, be able to work out something. If there's nothing that can be worked out, then of course they'll advise you according that there's no option but you have to leave. But you invariably you'll get an advice. There's always a way. It's whether or not you're willing to embark on that way.
Okay.
So what I'll suggest is, again, if that's the case, and anybody in that scenario, don't wait until you've got short time. Things are a little bit tighter now. Everything requires proper planning. Because the Home Office is making it very difficult. Or as I say, in the past we were able to rescue people and advise and strategy even at 1 month notice. It is becoming harder and harder, and everything requires intentional planning and good strategy, which of course your practitioner should be able to give you. If I don't know your circumstances, Setho, and I don't want to discuss them here. Again, similar to what I advise at the DG, just go on the bio and schedule a one-to-one meeting, and then we can look at exactly where you are and what is you're looking for and what can be done. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Manchester. I can say I'm in Manchester. So
yeah, in Manchester, if you want to meet me face to face, by all means, let me know. Tell us the same procedure. Just book it. And if you want to say you want to come to the office, no problem. Come to the office. If you want to do, we normally do Zoom meetings. So anybody who's not in Manchester, you don't have to worry. We have our consultations by video, so it doesn't really matter where you were. But we can still attend to you.
that's all right.
Whether you feel like you want to come and see me, said there's no problem at all. I'll be happy to meet you.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna book the appointment.
Yes. Now, yeah, I hope that answers your point for now.
Oh yeah, I think further that the discussions can go on. I think when I meet you, because
Sure.
as it stands now, I'm not that settled, but I need a definite solutions, and so there's a need for me to come and see you so that we can further settle on definitely.
Yeah, which part of Manchester are you based?
I'm in Charlestown.
Charlestown. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we're on Princess Road, eh?
Sorry,
Princess Road.
Princess Road.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. But get me to the link, and then we have a one-to-one, and then we talk from there.
That's all right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll have Bobby.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. Okay, if you enter the UK illegally, would it impact on your ILR application?
Entered the UK illegally. Yeah.
Yes. Would it affect you are applying ILR?
Yeah, it
on
depends
a 10
on
years route.
Yes, it ultimately depends on what route you're going through at the moment. I mean, you may have seen one of the
It's 10 years.
reforms. Yeah, one of the proposed reforms now is if you've entered the country illegally, you will not be able to get your status. I think that's one of the proposed reforms. But there are always exceptional circumstances, exceptional circumstances, people's different factors as to how they are now living there and what has come to be. It is a complex, that's now, it rules outside the immigration rules, which will have to be looked at. What I would suggest, Bobby, again, that your situation is this is something that needs to be looked at in detail. Once you come to the confines of outside the immigration rules, then of course it's on a bespoke basis. What are the things, grounds you're basing it on, and so on and so forth, and then what happened before. But certainly, it is not advisable to now enter the UK legally, because obviously that is one of the areas where the reforms is targeting. What I could suggest as well, I'll be keen to know a deeper background of what has happened before and be able to guide you. Perhaps you can do the same. Just use the link on the bio and schedule a private meeting.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see whether we can bring the next round of people. Those who want to join. If you want to come on the podium and ask a question, please just send a request, and then we'll bring you there. If you just send a request, and we'll be able to bring you to come and ask a question. Yeah. Is there anything else that guys you'd like me to mention? I've seen a couple of questions on the. I've not been able to read them all. Let me see if I can pick on one or two, but I think, Erick, I don't know whether you've been able to pick on some of the questions being typed on here.
I think there was a question. Someone is British and they want to go to the USA. Like how would they go about it?
Which one?
But the question by user 951, and then there was a question by Nancy Banks. Are there any changes that will be implemented? My question would be: are there any changes being implemented as yet? The dependent visa.
Why
Nancy
don't you
Banks.
come and ask her to come on the platform? I don't know whether she's there. Nancy Banks.
I think because I've not joined as a moderator, I can't invite her.
Nancy, do you want to just come on top and ask that question properly?
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
So my question was, from the white paper, there were proposals to stop the spousal visas or introduce some new rules on the IELTS test. So I wanted to know whether there are some changes to the spousal or dependent visa for people who've been here before this period of all these changes.
You're discussing about spousal visa. Of course, there'll be changes coming on the spousal visa with regards to the language aspect of it, and of course, there's a proposal to increase the financial threshold. If an application has not been made, then it will be good to make it before the changes. It is likely that the financial threshold will go up. Currently at 29,000, it is proposed that may be going up to 38,700. We don't know. There's been debate that actually that figure is too high. It should have to be brought lower. We don't know where this is going to head to. What I would say is that if you are still on this, if you're intending to make an application on this, maybe a good day to make an application as soon as possible, because if the changes are made and they are detrimental to you, they make it very difficult for you. I've got somebody I'm dealing with at the moment where they've got everything else, but the salary threshold is just below that, and they're out of the country. If they're in the country here, it will be different because they can go under the 10-year route. But if they're out of the country, it is difficult to bring them in to the entry clearance so that they can be able to embark on that journey. So if you're on that particular sector, perhaps have a chat with me later on that I can be able to understand exactly where you are and be able to guide you better. Yeah.
Okay. The other question would be, suppose you've had a child who's had a UK visa before, but she's gone back home to our original countries. Would they be affected to the by the proposed changes on dependent visas? They've had a visa before, but they're not in the country.
Is the visa still valid?
Yes.
Well, if your visa is valid, you can still travel with it.
Okay. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have other people join as well to ask questions. So somebody was typing. Somebody was typing something. Let me see. You answered about the visa, spouse visa. If anybody has got a specific thing they would like to ask, that they can talk to us about. So other than that, I think I wanted to mention about. We've talked about the changes, and if you're here for the first time, please make sure you follow us on TikTok and other social medias. Please tap so that at least it can be circulated around. People can join. I've got 2 people wanting to join on the platform. Let me see if I can let them come. So I think we've had that guy. So we've had you, Grace. Okay, well, people would like to be invited. Okay, so let's start with Grace.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
Okay.
My question was, if you give birth here and the baby is a British,
Yes.
but you have another kid who's not a British, and also the mother, you're not a British, how can you apply for the other kid to become British?
It depends on the circumstances. You have one child is British because their father is British, I take it,
Yes,
and the other child and the other children they are not British because their fathers are not British.
yes,
And what's the status of the mother?
not British,
The mother is
skilled
not
worker.
skilled worker. Normally the child will take of the parents. Yeah. So the children whose parent is British obviously will come. The non-British parent, non-British children, the children whose other parent is non-British, they'll obviously not. However, it is possible that the mother of this British child could use this British child to apply to remain in the country, and then as a result of that, then the other children will benefit from that. Does that make sense?
Okay, how about the husband? Because the baby who's British is not the husband to the wife, to the lady.
It is possible. What I can say is, it is possible to to rely the benefit of that one British child. I would like to ask more questions, but I can't. Grace, why don't you just schedule them 1-to-1 so I can be able to? In principle, it can be. There's a solution to it.
That's fine. If I can get your number, because I have so many questions, even regarding business and money transit in and out.
Yeah, it's my details are on the bio. Just go on the bio page.
Okay.
With that link there, you'll be able to request an appointment, and then we'll be able to have a meeting.
All right. Thank you. I've just followed you.
Yeah, if you just look on the bio, follow me first, and then be able to go on the bio, you'll be able to see a link.
Where are you located?
In Manchester, but it doesn't really matter where you are because we can do video consultations.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Let's have Tris.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Roland.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, a friend of mine wants to find out. He came here with COS, and the COS was cancelled. The Home Office gave her 60 days to go home, but she didn't go. But now she met somebody who the person wants to marry, and she wants to find out if she can marry here.
Why are you asking for your friend? Why don't your friend come and ask for themselves?
She says she's shy.
Okay. Well, she's got a COS.
Come again.
Do you say she's on COS?
Yeah, but she said her COS was cancelled. Yeah.
Cancelled.
Yeah.
Cancelled, or she's got notice of cancellation. Which is which?
Cancelled. Cancelled. She has gotten a cancellation letter.
Yeah, it's a notice of cancellation.
Yeah.
What I'll suggest, ask them to get in touch to have a look at it. First, you get a notice of cancellation.
Okay.
Then during that period of time, you can actually switch. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So it would be
okay.
good to her to get some advice on what she can do within that period of 60 days. Yeah. Before it elapses.
Okay.
Yeah. Ask her to get in touch
All
and we'll be able to help her. Yeah.
all right. I already have your details and everything, so I will let her get in touch.
Yeah. Just it's also on the bio here. If you just check it out, you can just take a link and.
I already have your number and everything. So.
Oh, fantastic! Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to ask?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trees. And let's have Bonita.
Hello.
Hello, Bonita. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me in. I'm all right, thank you. I wanted to ask, I had an appeal, asylum.
Yes.
You know, when you have an appeal, you have to answer all the arguments, the rejected facts. I did that, add some extra evidence to be submitted, but my solicitor didn't submit all that. So I feel I was, can I say I was misrepresented?
Yes, I'm listening. Carry on.
Yeah, my question is, can I say I was misrepresented?
I really cannot comment on that because I don't know the circumstances in detail. I think, you obviously don't expect me to say yes or no without seeing the evidence and the file and what happened. If you just want a review of the matter, see what has happened, because I don't know exactly what your solicitor did. Being a professional, I cannot comment about another professional before I actually look at the evidence and what has happened. If you want me to have a look at your matter and give you a view, I'll be able to do that. Just arrange to contact me separately. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's have Chelsea. Chelsea.
Yes, hello. Hello, Mr. Ronald.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good.
Actually, I need some advice actually. I came in with a student visa and I've completed my degree. So I need an advice of whether to choose the postgraduate visa or the skilled worker visa. Like, I'm not sure of which one to go for because I just finished my degree in nursing here.
Now, before I answer Chelsea, we need to get to 10,000. Circulate this thing as widely as possible. You're not tapping it, people. Yeah. Let us see these figures reach 10,000. As I'm thinking about to tell Chelsea, you are a student who has just graduated in a degree in nursing, correct?
Yes, please.
And you are exploring the options of what you could do after that.
Yes.
You're not sure whether to embark on. You said you're talking about is it as a skilled worker?
Postgraduate. Yes, skilled worker visa or the postgraduate visa.
Yes. Right. I will answer that when we get 10,000 and give what I think some of the options you can consider.
Okay.
Yeah. Meantime, let me look at some of the comments here. We need to get to 10,000 and then I will answer Chelsea's request to know whether she can go the skilled work or the PSW. I think it's a question of what is your long-term strategy? What are you aiming to achieve? What do you want? Do you want to be in this country permanently, or do you just want to gain some experience and then leave? Do you want to Is it your intention to start a family, and different options? So I think we can look at all that. But you're in a good position, and I'm going to tell you why when you get to 10,000. So for those who haven't followed, again, please do follow us on TikTok. We want to reach as many people as possible. Share the live so people can join. And just to make you aware that we will be having lives every Tuesday, 7 to 8, and also on Saturday, 7 to 8. Prior to today, you will get to know the next topic, just to discuss different things we want to hear, to talk about, and of course, an insight and sound bites. As I said earlier, for those who came late, this is not not legal advice. It's just some information sharing. Legal advice will be given under instructions in a firm when we have full facts. As you can appreciate, we cannot ask you everything here, so we cannot give you legal advice in this forum. But we can share information that will give you some guidance. For those who don't know, my details are on the platform. If you want to reach out, it's very easy. My number is there as well, but you can just click a link, request for an appointment. Very simple and straightforward. You'll get a reply on how to choose a time when you can have a one-on-one session with me. If you are living in Manchester, you can come to the office if you want. You don't have to. If you want to have an online consultation meeting with me, again, you can choose to do that. It's entirely up to you.
So,
Now,
Roland.
Sorry?
Yeah, sorry. I think this is said. I want to subscribe. I've subscribed to your platform. Then I want to book for an appointment, but it's been difficult sending you the booking. So
yeah, it's this is on the bio. It's very, very simple. Very, very simple.
I click on the picture, your name.
It's not on the picture. It's actually the link that you need to click. The link. There's a link there. Eric, could you please share it on this chat for Seth to have it?
Yeah, thank you.
Eric,
I'll share just in a second. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. I'll respond now to Chelsea. Yeah? Chelsea, are you there?
Yes, please. Yes, I'm here.
Now,
Thank you.
you are considering, you've already graduated and you've got your certificate of completion, I take.
I'm about to graduate. I've not graduated. We are to graduate in September.
In September. So you still don't have your certificate of completion?
Yes.
Okay. Once you have received that, you will be able to embark on either PSW route, which is a graduate visa, which will give you, at present, is 2 years. There's a proposal to reduce that to 18 months.
Yeah.
However, PSW route does not lead you to settlement. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I know that.
Yes, it is a nice parking lot where you just can sit there, mark timing, thinking of what you want to do. You remain legal in the country, but it doesn't lead to settlement unless you are unless we are counting over 10 years period where you change that to something else. Then those years will count. So if you have an option to embark on another route that will lead to settlement, depending on what your strategy is and what you want to achieve, then you may consider other things. Again, this is just information only, Chelsea, because I would need to know other details about yourself, but you can also, and we can discuss that later. But skilled worker route is available for you. You are a nurse, you've done your degree in nursing, you can consider applying for jobs in nursing. There's quite a high demand of nurses. So that's a route you can consider. And that will, of course, give you a skilled worker as a nurse. And of course, after hopefully up to 5 years, you'll be able to apply for indefinite leave to remain, subject to the reforms which I have discussed earlier in this discussion. So you have a few options. And having done nursing, the most obvious route I would say is to look for a job in the sector,
Okay.
which would be very advantageous to you. There is a high demand of nurses, and I think you should be able to find one. If you want some assistance on just bespoke information, exactly what you're saying, then have a chat with me later on. I'll be happy to look at it and be able to give you a more precise work plan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, next time.
Thank you. We can have the person here called Wilson Juguna.
Yes, I'm here, Solicitor. How are you?
I'm very well, Wilson. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you. Yeah, I got a question.
Yes.
I came with a COS, and we got a 60 days notice. And after 60 days, we applied for a fee waiver. It got rejected. Then we applied for FLR. Still, they haven't communicated. So I'm asking, does it take long? When am I looking at when will they respond? And how will be the impact?
Wilson Juguna.
Yeah,
Habari yako?
Mzuri.
Yes, that's my countryman. It's good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, you seem to be going on the wrong route.
Okay.
I'm sorry to be telling you that. I wish you'd sought advice before you did what you did.
Okay.
There is a misconception that when people are running out of options, they quickly run into the fee waiver. The Home Office are aware of those tricks.
Okay.
Yeah. A fee waiver route is a route you embark on with the intention to apply on the basis of a private life and human rights basis. And once you go on that route, you are telling the Home Office that you have your intention to make an application on those bases, but you don't have enough money and you want your fee to be waived. That's what fee waiver means. It's not an extension, contrary to what people talk about.
Okay.
Then you've gone a further ahead to apply, which was rejected.
Yes.
So from that point on, you're already, really out of status. The best advice normally is at the point, even before you get your 6 days notice. I presume it may be because you are not getting enough shifts from your employer.
Actually, they revoked the license.
Yes, because the employer probably had no work. The Home Office found out, and of course they revoked the license because they're in breach of the terms. That is a natural thing that was going to happen. You should have known that. But if you're in that situation whereby you know that you are working for an employer of that nature, it's only a matter of time before the office are aware, because they can see the tax records are not matching up. They can see they know that this employer is not really complying. And it is unwise to sit and wait for them to write to you. When you work for somebody and you realize that they're not providing you with work, that is the time to start looking for other options. Talk to advisors to advise you what are the alternatives, what you can do. Now, you waited for the 60 days to elapse, and then just before that, you applied for a fee waiver, I presume just before the 60 days. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So what you're trying to do is to keep yourself legal by applying for a fee waiver. It's a wrong thing to do, because a fee waiver is not an extension.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are finding yourself that it's not a very well handled matter. What I would suggest, Wilson, and I would like to ask you more questions, but this is not the right forum. Get in touch through the links on my bio and schedule a one-on-one. Then we will talk about it.
Okay then.
But thanks for bringing that point up and for other people to learn from it.
Yeah.
That is not the right way to do it.
I later applied for FLR.
Yeah. I'm just saying, thank you for bringing that point up. And this is the idea is for people to learn.
Yes.
Yeah. Those who may be thinking of doing the same.
Yes.
Yeah. That will inevitably cause some difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah. So if one is in that situation and they've been served with a 60 days notice of cancellation, don't rush to the easiest thing of filing a fee waiver.
Yeah.
There's a lot of misconception on the street. Apply for fee waiver, apply for you have to, it has to be well considered. It has to be a well reasoned and balanced approach that is logical and makes sense. An application that makes sense. Always advisable to seek legal counsel so that they can be able to look at your circumstances and guide you properly. My time is up. I'll just take one. We're supposed to be from 7 to 8 so that you can keep in time next time. I've given you the extra 10 minutes. But Wilson,
Yes.
do get in touch. The link, you know, the link is on the bio, and then we can
Yes.
talk about it in detail. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my time is up, so I'll take this last question from. I'll take the last two from Integrity. Somebody, I don't know the name, but Integrity. Let's talk about you, and then we'll take one from Nana.
Good evening, Solicitor.
Good evening.
Thank you for bringing me up. I came on behalf of my friends. He's worried at the moment. His wife is a ski worker. She invited her daughters, and the daughter was refused. And they went on administrative reviews, and he won the administrative review. And to my surprise, he said they sent it back for them to reconsider, and these people refuse again. So, is there any chances of winning this second administrative review? Because I've never heard it that they treated one application twice. And if the guy has a chance, I mean, if the lady has a chance to take the case to the court, I believe it is one judgment from the appeal court that it is granted or allowed. But because it is administrative review, the case was decided twice, and their case was reviewed for the second time. So he wanted to know the chances of winning the second administrative review.
On administrative review, so I know I didn't say your name, but admin review is a review of the what processes are followed. It's not the legalities of it. In principle, what the person is saying is that they're reviewing the procedures that were followed. It's administrative work only. That can be done, once or twice. Now, if your lawyers are dealing with that, I think perhaps, and if they are satisfied that there are some fundamental flaws, then perhaps they'll be recommending for it to go for a judicial review, which is the next level, which can review the whole, the grounds of legality, procedural improprieties, or irrationality, whether maybe the office is being unduly harsh. That is something which can be done at that level. If the admin review does not succeed, they still have a recourse of going through the judicial review route. But it sounds like there's somebody already handling that for your friend.
Yes.
And I'm sure their legal counsel will be able to guide them accordingly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll take the other question from Nana, the last one for today, because we've gone past time. Next time we start strictly at 7. So we can finish at 8. Nana, you're the last one.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, quick question. I'm on a 10-year route, yeah?
Yes.
As a family life parent, okay? But my spouse is like, she has been blackmailing me that she gonna spoil my papers, the whole lot, okay? So through that, I got high blood pressure. So I went to the GP and told them. So they gave me these people to talk to. What do we call it? It's a psychologist. So I've been talking to them, but this lady is planning to spoil my papers. So what should I do?
Is your wife British?
No.
She's going definitely leave to remain.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to hear that, for a start. It's unfortunate that you're going through that. And if your GP has referred you to a counselor for counseling and therapy, that's quite helpful.
Therapy.
These things happen too often, where you find one spouse who has got the upper hand of having permanent or settled status, perhaps exerts undue harshness from the other one, and perhaps with coercive tendencies of abuse. There is a solution to it. There is a solution for both men and women.
Yeah.
victims of what's known as domestic violence.
Yeah.
I mean, today we were talking about reforms, and it's not a topic for that. I'm sure I'll discuss that topic at some point in the future. And Eric, who's the moderator, will make sure that we have that. Domestic abuse is a big thing. We handle such cases frequently where the disadvantaged partner, who is usually the migrant, relying on the settled partner for their visa, suffer, great harshness and abuse. Abuse in the form of coercion, financial abuse, manipulation, so on and so forth. It can be varied. It doesn't have to be physical. There is a solution to it, as long as there is evidence, and it needs to be well documented.
Yeah.
And you can get assistance. If you are going through this and you're a victim of domestic abuse at the hands of your partner who settled here, I can confidently tell you that there is a solution to it. So do not suffer in silence.
So my question is, but renew it next year, but she will not do it for me. She will not sign it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was going to finish what I was saying before you jumped in. You don't have to worry. Get in touch, and somebody who's already abusing you is most likely not going to sign it. And there are laws in place to protect together for things like that. So, if they're abusing you and manipulating you, most likely they're not going to be cooperative to sign it for you. But you need to document the evidence, and there's a way that has to be done. And then there is a procedure we can follow under domestic abuse. After this session, my contacts are at the top of the page. Yeah.
Okay.
Click and request for a one-on-one. We will guide you and show you what to do.
All right.
Is that okay?
Okay, that's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for today. That is all. We've exceeded by 14 minutes. It's strictly from 7 to 8. We've tried to answer. I know there are a lot of people who still want to talk, but next time, please come in time. We start strictly at 7 o'clock. We aim to finish at 8 o'clock. We'll have the next live session on Saturday. Whereas, Eric, you can mention the topic we're going to be addressing on Saturday. Do you have the details?
Thanks. Yeah. So I've just put it in the chat. Yeah. So we'll be live next on Saturday, and the topic that we.
Hello.
From 7 to 8, and before I leave,
Eric, we lost you for a minute. Just repeat again.
Yes, so I was saying, I'll share the topic on the chat as.
Yeah, Eric keeps dropping down for some reason. I have seen the topic. So on Saturday, live again on Saturday will be. Yeah, Eric, we lost you again.
Oh, sorry. Maybe you can just go ahead. I'll just put the topic on the chat.
Yes. Saturday, I think we will be talking about dependent children. I'll just talk about this for a minute before we close. Dependence abroad. Time and time again, we see many people applying, especially single parents. One parent has come to the UK, they've left children abroad, and then when they try to bring their child, there's a lot of difficulties due to the issues of child, abductions and the rest, and children disappearing, trafficking. The laws are very strict in terms of bringing a child here, especially if you are a single parent. It's more difficult when the other parent is not traveling with you. There is a notion of sole responsibility. They actually normally refused on the basis that the other parent is not attending, and you've not been able to establish, objectively, that you have a sole responsibility on the child. We'll discuss this topic in detail. For those who have got children and they're trying to bring them to the UK, we shed some light, and then hopefully from there, those who have got those kind of issues can be able to see us and we can address them. Other than that, thank you very much, everyone, for turning up today. Keep it in your diary for Saturday, 7 p.m., same time. and we'll be able to address that. If you got questions to ask, please come prepared with them so we can be able to address them. Thank you very much, and have a good evening, all of you.
Bye, everyone.